The shear strength of soil is decreased with decrease in normal stress. Septum pores pressure coefficient B for saturated soil is 1. In a deposit of normally consolidated clay, is effective stress and undrained strength increase with depth, but water content decrease with depth. Unconfined compressor strength test is undrained test. Shear stress of soil is a unique function of effective stress only. Cylindrical specimen of saturated soil failed under an axial vertical stress of 100 kN per meter square. When it was laterally unconfined, the failure plane was inclined to the horizontal plane at an angle of 45. The value of cohesion and angle of internal friction for the soil are respectively 0.05 Newton per meter square and 0 degree. If a cohesion soil specimen is subjected to vertical compression load, the inclination of the crack to the horizontal is 45. If the shearing stress is 0 on two planes, then the angle between the two planes is 90 degree. If the triaxial compression test when the drainage is allowed during बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम पाक MCQS में ये चैप्टर नंबर है 6 सॉइल मैकेनिक्स एंड फाउंडेशन ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग। इसमें टोटल 120 MCQs है और 12 पेजेस है। लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट MCQs। A fully saturated soil is said to be two-pass system with soil and water. Water content of soil can be greater than 100%. Constant head perimeter is used to test permeability of porous sand. This is important MCQs. If the void of soil mass are full of air only, the soil is termed as dry soil. A void ratio of soil mass can be take any value greater than 0. Which of the following types of soil is transported by gravitational force? Tulls. Residual soil are formed by none of these. Valid range for n, the percentage voids is 0, 100 is greater than n and n is greater than 0. This is the percentage void. Valid range for S, the degree of saturation of soil in percentage is. In saturation, the case is that 100 is greater than S is greater than 0. If this is in saturation and this is in the percentage of void N. When the degree of saturation is 0, the soil mass under consideration represent two-pass system with soil and air. Well, in first MCQs, a fully saturated soil is said to be two-pass system with soil and water. That is fully saturated. Well, in that case, the degree of saturation is 0, not full. The soil mass under consideration represent two-pass, soil and air in place of water. The second page of the soil mechanics and foundation. This is the second page of the soil mechanics. In this second page. First question. Select the correct range of density index ID. Density index Y is greater than ID and ID is greater than 0 if the volume of void is equal to the volume of solid in soil mass. Then the value of porosity and void ratio respectively are 0.5 and 1.0. If the water content of fully saturated soil mass is 100%, then the void ratio of sample is equal to the specific gravity of the soil. Relative density relative density of compacted dense sand is approximately equal to 0.95. Which of the following method is most accurate for the determination of water cement of soil? On dry method is the most accurate method for determining water content of soil. The ratio of volume of voids to the total volume of soil mass is porosity. The ratio of volume of voids to the total volume of soil. If the degree of saturation of a partially saturated soil is 60%, then the air content of the soil is 40%. If the sand in situ is in densest state, then the relative density of sand is 1. A psychometer is used to determine water content and specific gravity. Water content and specific gravity. Psychometer. Pesometer. Hydrometer is used analysis for soil mass. Mencius correction is adductive and dispersing agent correction is subtractive. पाक MCQS की थर्ड पेज है इन सॉइल मैकेनिक एंड फाउंडेशन इंजीनियरिंग का. In the third page, the first MCQs. For proper field control, which of the following method is best suited for quick determination of water content of soil mass? Calcium carbide method. Calcium carbide method. A soil has bulk density of 22 kN per meter cube and water content 10%. The dry density of soil is 20.0 kilonewton per meter cube. Stokes law is valid only if the size of particle is between 0.2 mm and 0.0002 mm. Which of the following is measure of particle size range? Uniformity coefficient. Uniformity coefficient of soil is equal to or equal to or greater than 1. The hydrometer method of sedimentation analysis differs from the pipette analysis mainly in the method of taking observation. According to Edinburgh, the soil is said to be medium plasticity if the plasticity index Pi is 17 is greater than Pi and Pi is greater than 7. The answer is correct. The plasticity index of soil mass is 0. The soil is sand. I mistakenly. The soil is sand. When the plastic limit of soil is greater than the liquid limit, then plasticity index is represented to 0. The admixture of coarser particle like sand or silt or to clay causes decrease in both liquid limit and plasticity index. Well, in page number 4, the water content of soil which represent The boundary between plastic state and liquid state is called liquid limit. This is the most important and examined question. At liquid limit, all soil possess same shear strength of small magnitude. Toughness index is defined as ratio of plasticity index to flow index. If the natural water content of soil mass lies between its liquid limit and plastic limit, the soil mass is said to be plastic state. Which of the following soil has more plasticity index? Clay has more plasticity index. C answer is correct. If the material of the base of the Casagrande liquid limit device on which the cup containing soil paste drop is softer than that the standard hard rubber, then the liquid limit of soil always increase. Inorganic soil with low compressibility are represented by ML. C answer is correct. Dispersed type of soil structure is an arrangement comprising particles having face-to-face or parallel orientation. Sand particles are made of rock minerals. The clay mineral with the largest swelling and shrinkage characteristic is Montmorillonite. In page number 5, the first question is the total and effective stress. In page number 5 in soil mechanics and foundation engineering, the first question, the total and effective stress at the depth of 5 meters below the top level of water in a swimming pool are respectively 0.5 kg per centimeter square and 0. Quicksand is a type of sand. Simple. And 1A answer is correct. Rise of water table above the ground surface causes equal increase in pore water pressure and total stress. A answer is correct. Highway Research Board HRB classification of soil is based on both particle size, composition and plasticity characteristics. If the water table rises up to ground surface, then the effective stress is reduced due to increase in pore water pressure only, but total stress does not change. B answer is correct. According to IAS classification, the range of cell size particle is 0.075 mm to 0.002 mm. Physical properties of a permanent which influence permeability are both viscosity and unit weight. Effective stress on soil decrease both void ratio and permeability. The hydraulic head that will produce a quick condition in a sand stratum of thickness 1.5 m, specific gravity 2.67 and void ratio 0.67 is equal to 1.5 m. If the permeability of soil is 0.8 mm per second, the type of soil is sand. Which of the following method is best suited for determination of permeability of coarse granite soil? Constant head method. Effective stress is important because it is function of engineering property of soil. Coefficient of permeability of soil is increased with increase in temperature. B answer is always correct. Which of the following method is more suitable for determination of permeability of clay soil? Falling head method. B answer is correct. Due to the rise in temperature, the viscosity and the unit weight of the percolating fluid are reduced to 60% and 90% respectively. If other things remain constant, the coefficient of permeability increased by 50%. The total discharge from two wells situated near to each other is less than the sum of the discharge from the individual wells. Total number of stress component at a point within soil mass loaded at its boundary is 9. The flow net for an earthen dam with 30-meter water depth consists of 25 potential drops and 5 flow channels. The flow net of an earthen dam with 30-meter water depth consists of 25 potential drop and 5 flow channels. The coefficient of permeability of dam material is 0.03 mm per second. The discharge per meter length of dam is 0.00018 nr vex. A answer. The slope of isochron at any point at a given time indicate the rate change of pore water pressure with depth. The value of compression index for a remolded sample whose liquid limit is 50% and 0.28. Answer is correct. In soil mechanics and foundation engineering, page number 7, question number the average coefficient of permeability of natural deposit parallel to stratification is always greater than perpendicular stratification. Within the consolidation process of a saturated clay, B answer, a gradual decrease in neutral pressure and gradual increase in effective pressure take place and sum of the two is constant. The most suitable method for drainage of fine granite cohesive soil is electro-osmosis method for drainage of fine granite cohesive soil. Coefficient of consolidation of soil is affected by both compressibility and permeability. Time factor for clay layer is directly proportional to permeability of soil. Coefficient of consolidation for clay normally decrease with increase in liquid limit. Degree of consolidation is directly proportional to the time and inversely proportional to the square of drainage path. Which of the following clay behave like dense sand? Our consolidated clay with high consolidation ratio. Clay layer A with single drainage and coefficient of consolidation CV takes 6 months to achieve 50% consolidation. The time taken by clay layer B. Clay layer A with single drainage and coefficient of consolidation CV takes 6 months to achieve 50% consolidation. The time taken by clay layer B of the same thickness with double drainage and coefficient of consolidation CV/2 to achieve the same degree of consolidation is 3 months. This was very bakwas question, but this is the good question. Compressibility of sand soil is much lesser than that of clay soil. And this type question always came in paper. Page number 8, soil mechanics and foundation engineering park MCQS. This is the 81 number question. Coefficient of compressibility is different for different type of soil and also different for soil under different state of consolidation. Coarse grained soil are best compacted by vibratory roller. The maximum dry density up to which any soil can be compacted depends upon both moisture cement and amount of compaction energy. The ultimate consolidation settlement of soil is directly proportional to the compression index. A normally consolidated clay settled at 10 mm when effective stress was increased from 100 kN per meter square to 200 kN per meter square. If the effective stress is further increased from 200 kN per meter square to 400 kN per meter square, then the settlement of the same clay is 10 mm. The ultimate consideration settlement of structures resting on a soil decrease with increase in the initial void ratio. Direct measurement of permeability of the specimen at any stage of loading can be made only in fixed ring type consolidometer, which with the increase in the amount of compaction energy, optimum water content decrease but maximum dry density increase. For a loose sand sample and a dense sand sample, consolidation to the same effective stress, ultimate strength is same but peak strength of dense sand is greater than that of loose sand. For better strength and stability, the fine granite soil and coarse granite soil are compacted respectively as B answer, wet of OMC and dry OMC. In a dry axial compression test, when drainage is allowed during the first stage, application of cell pressure only and not during the second stage application, deviator stress at constant cell pressure. This test is known as consolidated undrained test. Sensitivity of soil can be defined as the ratio of compression strength of unconfined undistributed soil to that of soil in remolded state. The coefficient of active earth pressure for a loose sand having an angle of internal friction of 30 degrees is 1/3. During the first stage of triaxial test, when the cell pressure is increased from 0.10 Newton per mm square to 0.26 nmm square, the pure water pressure increased from 0.7 Newton per mm square to 0.15 Newton per mm square. 0.5. In triaxial compression test application, additional axial stress, the deviator stress on the soil specimen produce shear stress on all planes except horizontal and vertical planes. The angle the column failure envelope makes with the horizontal is called angle of internal friction. Rankine theory of earth pressure assumes that back of the wall is vertical and smooth. The major principal stress in an element of cohesionless soil within backfill of retaining wall is vertical if the soil is in an active state of plastic equilibrium. A retaining wall 6 meter high supports a backfill with the surcharge angle of 10 angle. The back of the wall is inclined to the vertical at an positive better angle of 5. If the angle of wall fraction is 7 degree, then the resultant active earth pressure will act at distance of 2 meter above the base and the inclined to the horizontal at an angle of 12 degree. Bishop method of stability analysis assume the slip surface as an arc of circle. The coefficient of cohesion on soil is due to reduce the active earth pressure in density, but to increase the passive earth pressure intensity. Coefficient of earth pressure at rest is greater than active earth pressure but less than passive earth pressure. Allowable bearing pressure for a foundation depend upon both allowable settlement and ultimate bearing capacity. Terragai Journal bearing capacity formula for step formula C and C plus Y D and Q plus 0.5 Y and TB gives ultimate bearing capacity. In the plate loading test for determining the bearing capacity of soil, the size of square bearing plate should be between 300 mm and 750 mm. A 600 mm square bearing plate settles by 15 mm in plate loads test on a cohesion-less soil under an intensity of loading of 0.2/RAM2. The settlement of prototype shallow footing 1 meter square under the same intensity of loading is between 15 mm and 25 mm. Tarazai bearing capacity factor NC, NQ and NR are function of angle of internal fraction only. The rise of water table below the function influences the bearing capacity of soil mainly by reducing cohesion and effective unit weight of soil. A 300 meter square bearing plate settle by 15 meter in plate load test on a cohesion soil when the intensity of loading is 0.2 Newton per mm square. The settlement of prototype shallow footing 1 meter square under the same intensity of loading is 50 mm. Contact pressure beneath a rigid footing resting on cohesion soil is more at edge compared to middle. Rise of water table in cohesionless soil up to ground surface reduce the net ultimate bearing capacity approximately by 50%. Select the incorrect statement. Bearing capacity of soil depend upon the amount of direction of load. Select the incorrect answer. All these three are correct, and the last one, unconfined compression test can be carried out in all type of soil. This is wrong. Select the incorrect statement. All are correct, and C is not correct. In a consolidated drainage test on normally consolidated clay, the volume of soil sample during shear decrease. Select the incorrect statement. Effective cohesion of soil can never have negative value. Select the correct statement. Coefficient of compressibility on our consolidated clay is less than that of the normally consolidated clay. The greater the unit weight, the greater is permeability. A uniform soil has less strength and stability than a non-uniform soil. Which of the following statement is correct? All are wrong. Select the correct statement. Unit weight of soil decrease due to submergence in water.